welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. And yes, things might look a little bit different for this show. It's because our director, Johnny Nunez, he's involved in like everything across the Inland Empire. He is live broadcasting several high school graduations, not only this week, but also next week. So we're not going to be in the TV studio for 2 weeks. So you're stuck at home with me, literally in my living room. I got the fireplace to my left. I got my computer over here to the right. So you're stuck with me for 2 weeks. But then it's back into the TV studio with our guy, Johnny Nunez. But he's very, very busy right now. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll break down some high school baseball and softball playoffs. We also have Paloma Valley girls basketball coach Matt Dale. We have UC Riverside head men's basketball coach Mike Magpayo, fresh off a 5-year extension. So we've got a big, big show. But leading things off, and again, it is our pledge to you, the Inland Empire, to talk high school football in every single show. Joining us, he is the new head football coach at Notre Dame, Carnell Hunt, joining us live on the show. Coach, first off, congrats on the gig, man. Are you excited to be a head football coach for the Titans?
Yeah, I'm very excited, man. We're ready to get the season started. The guys look good. We're working hard. It's going to be very, very exciting.
So, Coach, what kind of things can you do right now to get ready for that first game? I'm assuming maybe it's week 0 or week 1, whatever it is, August 21st or whatever that date falls on. But what are the things you can do right now to feel like you're getting the team better for that first game?
Oh, we killing the weight room. Conditioning is a must. Not too much film right now, but definitely next week when we start spring ball, we will get into the film room more. But right now, we just in the weight room, conditioning. The boys are excited. And they're very, very happy.
So, Coach, you're a Long Beach Poly guy, and of course, if you follow any kind of high school football in Southern California, everybody knows about the Jackrabbits, a long storied history. But here in our little slice of our neck of the woods, our little slice of heaven out here in the IE, I mean, Notre Dame's got a good tradition too. They had a CIF title not too long ago. When you took over the program, were you kind of surprised maybe a little bit about, Notre Dame's had some success. They've had some good teams.
No, wasn't surprised at all. I landed in a perfect place. I'm bringing all my knowledge that I learned at Long Beach Poly under Coach Raul Laura, Coach Jerry Jaso, last year Coach number Stephen Barbie. I'm bringing it here. We're going to play fast, and we're going to be very, very physical.
You know what? That was my next question, Coach, is how would you describe your brand of football? I think you just said it, but can you kind of maybe elaborate a little bit more of, what a Carnell Hunt football team is going to look like at Notre Dame?
No nonsense team. We're just going to smile before, and when the clock starts, you might not see a smile or anything. We're just going to play fast, but we're going to be physical. Notice last year that they didn't make a lot of mistakes. But this year, we're coming in with a new mentality that, hey, the faster we are, the slower the other team get. When they seem like they get tired, we're going to move even faster.
Coach, I know we just finished the spring football season, that shortened season that we had. But here we are, starting the month of June. And I know for a football coach to take over a program with only about 2, maybe 2.5 months before that first game of the season, it sounds like a long time, but it's really not. Like as you're trying to gear up for that, for that first game of the season. So if you, in a perfect world, had an entire off season to get the guys going, I mean, if you came on, let's say in January, I mean, what would an off season really look like instead of this short little 2-month ramp up before that first game?
Well, I mean, I have like a lot of time. I mean, it was been getting the kids bigger, faster, stronger. Of course, we'd have been emphasis in the weight room. But not just that, go on the field, condition. I'm big on conditioning. I feel like if I'm in shape and my team's in shape, can nobody beat me? So, man, that's a good question, man. No, we're just preparing, getting ready for the season. Make sure the kids stay on top of school, of course. That's my first thing. And make sure the kids that I got, they get used to me. They get used to my assistant coaches. They get used and buy into the system that we were running. But if I had if I had all that time, I'm about to tell you, I might not lose. But I don't, and I still might not lose. I'm here to play, man, with the big boys. I mean, what I know, I've been coaching over 20 years, so this is not, it's not about me. It's about the kids. And I just want to go out there and let us at Notre Dame show everybody what we got. And we very talented. It may not look like it on paper, but you ain't out here practicing with us. So, we know what we got. We are getting the boys ready. They are excited. The parents are excited. This school is great. And if I had that amount of time, I might not lose a game.
Coach, I love that attitude, too. I love it. I appreciate it. When I look at Notre Dame, because, we covered Notre Dame pretty hard in the last 5 to 10 years. And I feel like in the last couple of years, what the program just needs right now is stability. A head coach is just going to get in there, get his hands dirty, give this program some stability. What do you think the program needs the most right now? Maybe it is stability. What is something in your opinion that, if we can do this right, if we can bring this to the program, we're going to be okay, or we're going to have a good season?
Like you said, stability. I'm here. I'm going to be here. I'm not going nowhere. And for the kids, they need somebody they can depend on. I'm just not their coach. Sometimes I can be their buddy, but most of the time I'm just their coach. And, I want them to be able to trust me and trust my coaching staff that they will get better every single day. There's not a day that we don't preach, being great. We don't want to be good. We want to be great. When people come on the field, they want to see us and say, man, we really got to play Notre Dame. And that's the whole thing is bringing excitement, doing something different, letting the kids be who they are. A good football program. And they have not lost a step. It's just stability. And I'm here.
Coach, are you excited for that first game? Have you circled it on your calendar? Have you highlighted that one? I
go to sleep at night looking at that thing, bro. It's literally sitting on a glass closet door, like, this is the day. We're going to get it done. I'm excited. We got a Xavier Prep. They come to us, and it's about to be, really good at football. Really good football. Exciting, fast. That's what we want to do. We just want to have a fast, exciting football team. Get your YouTubes ready, your popcorn, because that's what you're about to get.
Still a line from T.O., Terrell Owens, man. Get your popcorn ready for the Notre Dame Titans this upcoming season. Coach Carnell Hunt, thank you so much for jumping on the Inland Sports Show. You can be sure we're going to bug you again once you guys start winning some football games, get you back on the show. And, again, congrats on the gig, and best of luck this upcoming season, Coach.
Hey, I'm not telling you this, but I see you you can interview me that Monday after the big game, the big win of first game. I'll be sitting there waiting for you.
All right, I'm gonna mark that down right now. First Monday, Coach is coming back on the show.
Back on the show. Anytime you need me, man, I'm always open.
I appreciate that. I really do. That's Carnell Hunt, head football coach for the Notre Dame Titans. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show, and when we come back, we're going to hoop it up with Paloma Valley girls coach Matt Dale. We'll be right back. Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team? Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. Let's talk some NFL news right here. All of these OTAs are going on, these optional team activities. It's so cool to see these NFL football practices going on. Our guy, Kenny Clark, the pride of Carter High School, the pride of San Bernardino, is in Green Bay Packers OTAs right now, but his teammate Aaron Rodgers is not. And I sound like a broken record. We talked about this weeks ago, but until there's some resolution of what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, until we have something concrete, this is going to be the main storyline. He's not at OTAs. The big question now is next month they'll have mandatory minicamp, and will Aaron Rodgers show up, or will he be on another team by then?
And he doesn't appear to be worried about it. I mean, videos are coming with him doing karaoke in Hawaii or whatever. He looks perfectly happy.
Yeah, he's like, is there controversy going on with me? Like, he has no idea, man. He's living his best life. He's hosting Jeopardy. He's in Hawaii with his fiance. He's going to play in this made-for-TV celebrity golf event where Aaron Rodgers is going to team up with Bryson DeChambeau and Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson. Like, he has no cares in the world right now. It's all good for Aaron Rodgers. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. Big thanks to Notre Dame head football coach Carnell Hunt for joining us. I think it's his first interview here since he came to the Inland Empire from Long Beach Poly High School. Now we turn our attention to the high school basketball, the girls playoffs specifically, and it was so much fun to see this team not only win a CIF Southern Section crown, but get to a state championship game. Wish they could have played it. We'll talk about that as well. It's head coach Matt Dale from Paloma Valley High School. And Coach, I do want to talk about this year's team. I do want to talk about this year's playoffs, but it's hard not to think about last year's squad. And I was out there at Colony High School when you guys hoisted the CIF Southern Section title, and that was fantastic. You guys went all the way to the state finals. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it the night before or the day of when we found out that the pandemic was cutting everything off and you guys were bound to play for a state championship?
Yeah, you know what? I was having second thoughts about coming on and talking with you because the last time we did, the next day was when everything was canceled. Yeah, so yeah, and it happened so quickly. That being on that high of winning the Southern California Regional, really looking forward to the experience of going to Sacramento and everything that came along with playing in that game, and then to have it go away was definitely like a shock to the system.
Now, Coach, from that team, how many of those players do you have back on the squad this year?
So we played pretty consistently about 8 girls last year, and we're down 4 of those girls. So we return a core group of important players, but other girls have really stepped up who maybe didn't have big roles last year. Have really filled into those spots nicely.
Gosh, and to think about, you had such a great squad last year, and then, like you said, these girls stepping up. I mean, you must have had a pretty good bench last year. If now you've got girls who you just plug right in there, and you guys didn't skip a beat, you win an Ivy League championship, you go into the playoffs as one of the top teams. I mean, what does that say about maybe the girls who were kind of waiting their turn last year? I'm sure they got some minutes and some experience, but man, you just plug them in, and you guys didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, I think they are the unsung heroes of this year, primarily because they didn't even get an off season, right? So this wasn't like they got summer league and fall ball and all this developmental time to work and sort of fill into those roles. We're talking about girls who went a year from being able to do anything organized, who were really role players, and some of them weren't playing many minutes at all, if any, suddenly sliding into major minutes without an off season. To play as well as they've played has been incredible.
Coach, when you go into this season, obviously every year is a little bit different, and so much success that you guys had last year. Did you have expectations for what this season might look like for this team? Again, because you did have some turnover a little bit. Did you have any expectations of, what this year might look like or how it might go? And I know it was a weird year anyways, but did you have any expectations?
I think the beginning felt so whirlwind. It was hard to really have expectations. We had 5 practices before our first game. So that alone was just like, let's just figure out if we can not embarrass ourselves, really. Not because we didn't have talent. We knew that we'd have some talented kids coming back, but being able to play from a system perspective the way that we like to play. I think we were all sort of nervous about how it would come together. And I think we've all been pretty pleasantly surprised with how it has. So as the years progressed, I think we started to develop some expectations, but I think mostly we're just like appreciating being together.
Did you have to change anything? This is a question I gave to a lot of high school football coaches because, we got the green light and we just jumped right into football and played 5 games real quick. But, the question is, did you have to simplify things or maybe coach a little bit differently knowing, hey, we don't have the normal off season or the normal build up to get into the year. We're going to have to do things a little bit differently this year. Did you do anything different or business as usual?
Not really. And I think that's probably because we had such a veteran group coming back. I think we were able to take a lot of this stuff for granted, and say, hey, remember we do this. A lot of just reminders. So that was a luxury that we had. And I haven't really felt like things have been too different. Once we sort of got into the flow, aside from we practice with masks on every day and doing the various protocols, afternoon testing, all of that stuff, when it comes to just practicing and playing, it really hasn't felt that different at all, to be honest.
So as a head coach, how much of your time is spent on the X's and O's and getting ready for a game, and the other part of it is, maybe the safety protocols and testing and doing this and doing that to just make sure you guys can get on the court and play?
Yeah, we've had such a good support system at our school. Our athletic director, Ryan Sharp, has been great in organizing a lot of that stuff and taking that off my plate. The girls have been incredibly responsible and diligent about everything that they've had to do. So aside from a few minor inconveniences, I really feel like I've been able to do my job as normally as I would usually do it.
Well, Coach, I know this season has been tough for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. You shared with me off the air that your father passed away from COVID.
Yeah.
Is this season, does it feel a little bit different to you? Do you feel like you're playing in honor of him? Do you feel like, if you could win a title and kind of pay tribute to him, does it feel, a little bit different going through this year?
Yeah, I'll share with you, Pep. Probably a week or two, within the first week after he had passed back in December, I had a conversation with one of my good friends, and I said, I'm not sure that I want to coach anymore, to be honest with you. My parents, who were split in time between Arizona and Colorado, were able to be out for some of the playoff games. Both my parents were at our regional championship game at Peninsula. So there was a part of me that said, you know what, like, I kind of like the idea that my dad saw me coach my last game. And maybe that's it, And I don't know that I even thought that we were going to play this year. You know, as things were sort of going along, I was pretty pessimistic, actually, that we were even going to get a season. When I knew that we were going to, I felt a sense of obligation to the girls. I felt like no one was going to work harder to keep them safe than I would. So, you know, he's on my mind all the time. You know, I'm still definitely like deep in the grief process. It's unlike anything I've experienced before. But I feel at peace with what I'm doing. And I don't know that I would, like, my life is in honor of him. You know, I want to do both my parents proud with the kind of person that I am. I know that they loved watching me coach and loved supporting the girls. So I feel at peace that I'm doing something that I know made him proud.
Well, Coach, I'm sure he's happy to see you following through and you know, getting this season in for your squad. And I do want to ask also, you know, for your senior players, and you touched on it a couple months ago, you know, when we were doing the colored tiers and basketball was yellow, I thought there's no way basketball will not happen this spring, but here we are, and we're getting ready for the playoffs for your seniors. I don't know how many you have on your roster, but I mean, is that pretty special to at least give them a chance to, you know, cap off their high school career and, you know, win or lose CIF or whatever? I mean, you guys are here, you made the playoffs, you got a season in. I think that's a victory in itself for your seniors, at least.
That was our whole goal from the beginning, was let's have a year with no positive tests. If we can have a year together where we can just appreciate the fact that we get to play, let's take care of each other and each other's families from a safety perspective. That's the victory for us, and everything else is icing on top. That being said, I'm really competitive, and part of the reason that our team has been good is that I'm really competitive and my girls are really competitive. And so I think we have settled into, well, if we're going to do this, like, let's do it the right way. And I couldn't be happier with how we're competing right now.
Well, the playoffs are here. The title run begins. Coach, I always appreciate our conversations. Thank you so much. And we will definitely be rooting for the Wildcats here as we make our way through the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks so much, Pep. Thanks for having me, and I'll come back anytime you want.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? Because I felt so bad. You're right. You came on the show right before the state finals, and we saw how that went. But hopefully we'll see another run that looks very similar to last year. So
I hope so too.
That is Matt Dale. He is the Paloma Valley girls basketball coach here on the Inland Sports Show. Quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got Mike Magpayo, head basketball coach for the UC Riverside men's team. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. We have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Hey guys, it's Pep Fernandez from the #1 sports show in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. I wanted to let you know about the BASS School. That stands for the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. All of us are trying to find a way to get ahead in the classroom and in athletics. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Wanting to give your son the best opportunity to succeed. BASS is an all-boys private middle school servicing 7th and 8th grade student athletes. They've got unique, customized curriculum for student athletes, individualized nutrition and athletic development, plus rigorous academic development with small class sizes. This is not an online homeschool. This is a private school for students who are serious about their grades and serious about their sports. BASS school enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year begins in January, so don't wait. Lock up your spot today. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for more information. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to Matt Dell, the head girls basketball coach at Paloma Valley High School, as the Wildcats are starting their playoff run tonight. Now joining us on the show, he is the head men's basketball coach at UC Riverside, fresh off an extension that we are excited to bring Mike Magpayo back onto the show, one of our favorite guys out there. Coach, first off, congrats on the extension. We all figured it was coming. How excited were you to get the official news?
Oh, you can imagine. I mean, it's my family and myself and my parents and everybody around me, my friends. It's just thrilling. It's awesome. You know, I want to be here. I love it here. My wife and I, we love Riverside, and it's great. I'm here in basically my hometown. All my family is about 45 minutes to an hour away. So I'm just super excited. I love our team. I love this program, and to be for Wes to believe, our athletic director to believe in me, to sign me to a 5-year contract really says a lot. So I'm super excited.
You know what? That was my next question, Coach, is just having that vote of confidence, not thinking, man, are they going to bring me back next year? How many games do we have to win so I can keep my job? Like, just to have that vote of confidence, like, okay, they believe in me, and that probably, build some confidence within the program. Like, when you're recruiting guys, hey, guys, I'm going to be here. I got an extension. Like, let's build something.
Yeah, no, during the year, I obviously didn't think about it. You just can't think about that stuff. But it's a factor in recruiting and retaining your team and building something. So just to hear it, hear that we're getting an extension, and really it's our whole staff. It's not just me; it's our whole staff is getting an extension. Then the players are. I think they were super excited because now you know that you have a program to build, and we've had back-to-back winning seasons, and you just want to continue to build off that.
So, Coach, you look at this squad, and again, you guys had a tremendous amount of success last year. You've got some guys coming back. You're going to be back. The coaching staff is back. Do you feel like, man, last year was great, but when you look on the horizon, things are going to get even better for the Highlanders? Are you so optimistic about what next year could look like?
Extremely optimistic, really. I mean, now we did lose one. We lost Wayne Hunter, our one of our assistants. He went with my old boss to Washington State, it's all part of the family, which is great. But yeah, no, we got a lot of confidence in this team and the guys that we have, and we just have a lot coming back. A lot of guys that have played a lot of minutes. We got 1 through 10, and we're bringing in some good transfers as well. So yeah, I'm super optimistic. I think we have a chance to compete with anybody.
You know, Coach, going back to last year, you know, I felt like UC Riverside was in the spotlight for a lot of different reasons, a lot of good different reasons. You know, the men's basketball program specifically, with you as the head coach and doing so well and being on ESPN, and you know what I mean? Like, there were so many good things. When you look back, you know, on last year and, you know, being a head coach, what are some of the things that jump out at you? Some memories you made, some things that happened that you're like, when I look back, this is what I'm going to reflect on.
What's funny is nowadays, like you asked me to do this show, like the first time you asked me to do this show, I was so nervous. You know, I practiced with Wes, you know, our marketing, our media people beforehand. I just went to Vegas because my parents are out there over Memorial Day weekend, and so I will always remember. The game was great. Actually, I can't even remember the game. I kind of blacked out. But after the game, for all of us to go to the Bellagio. One of my favorite movies is Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Where they go to the Bellagio waterfall. So it was like, I put it on the itinerary. We're going to Bellagio. I told our director of operations, win or lose, we were going. But that was just a great memory for us. And it was easy to park. There just weren't as many people on the strip at that time because it was still closed. But it was just really cool to walk in the Bellagio, take that picture after beating a Pac-12 team and getting my first win and our first win as under me. So that I will never forget that. And then, you know, I have great videos of the celebration after that. That was hilarious. It was great. I didn't even expect that either. You know, I just kind of walked in and then boom, I'm just drenched we're all drenched with water, and it was really cool.
You know, Coach, I forgot that's how it all started. You guys go on the road on a whim, like last minute. Yeah. You go to Vegas and you beat the Washington Huskies for your first ever Division I win. That's how it all started. Yeah. You know, as you go into your next season, what are maybe some things that you learned in your first year as the head coach? You're like, okay, that was a great learning experience. Maybe we can do things differently. Maybe we can improve upon that. What are some learning things that you went through in your first year? Yeah,
you know, you have to have stamina. You know, I felt like the most disappointing, but also there is a light, is that we had our worst game of the season, our last game, you know, and whatever the reasons, obviously I can really nitpick and study it and just kind of beat ourselves up about, but I think it's just going to be a motivating tool for us. Just that was a lot. I mean, every other game we lost was within like 4 points until that game. And we played an experienced team, a team that has been to the NCAA tournament, that had won games in the NCAA tournament just 2 years ago, players on that team that had done it in Irvine. So just having that stamina and figuring out how can we as a group still remain in elite condition. That's kind of our whole focus in the summer. How can we remain in elite condition as you get to the end? Because really last year was only 22 games. You know, and so like if you really play next year, we'll play 32 in the regular season plus the tournament and so on, and hopefully continue to play in the postseason. So that's something that we really got to study. I mean, my staff, Coach Zeppel, Coach Lezak, myself, are really just kind of digging in, studying, and talking to a lot of our friends in the NBA and pro teams, just figuring out what do you guys do in the off season? Like, we want to be in elite condition. And so you get them back in the summer, but you don't want to crush them, but it is a focus. So we're trying to figure out how to get stronger and be in this condition that we want to be the aggressors. Mm-hmm. It's something I've been talking to the team about. We've done like some Zooms every 3 weeks. We do a Zoom every 3 weeks just to stay connected to the guys while they're away. And it's just like, I just want us to play louder as a program, as a team. And what that means, we'll kind of build out that theme in the off season.
Well, Coach, finally, I know you have a couple guys on campus, but it seems like everyone else is spread out. Are you excited just to, I don't know when everyone comes back together. I don't know if it's September or when that is, but just to get them back together and as the theme of this interview has been, build on that success you guys had last year into this upcoming season.
Yeah, you know what? After the season, I plan to do a spring season, but they were so, the bubble was such a challenge and all that. So we kind of decided, go home, and we're going to get them back here in about 3 weeks here at the end of June. And so we'll have a pretty significant summer program, an 8-week summer program. And so but the guys even when they went home, they were so excited. They kept telling me, God, we're so excited to get back. We want to get back. We want to get back. So they've been away now for a couple months, still doing their virtual classes and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, everybody's excited in the program, which is great. We're one of the few teams, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, but that haven't had anybody go in this crazy transfer portal. And I think that says a lot about where your program is. And I told the guys that I really believe it. It really says a lot of where the program is, where it's going, is that we have a team full of guys that believe in the program, that are accepting of their roles, accepting of each other. And so, yeah, I cannot wait to get back to it in the summer with this group of guys. Come on by. I think you'll like what you see.
Well, Coach, I always appreciate our conversations. I'm obviously a huge fan of what you are doing at UC Riverside, and I can't wait to see what next year looks like. I want to see the Highlanders in the big dance. Let's do this.
I think we'll have a shot. We'll have as good a shot as anybody in the Big West. I really believe it.
All right, that is Mike Magpayo, head basketball coach for UC Riverside. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks as always, Coach. I do appreciate it.
Thanks, Pep. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we have our big boost plays of the week. Yes, more than one. We'll be right back. The time is now. The Boost Training Center is open for business and ready to help all the athletes across the Inland Empire. Doesn't matter the age or the sport, if you go to Boost Training with Coach Ray Bass, they're going to make you bigger, faster, stronger. So if you're out there looking to train this offseason, talking about all you football players especially, check out boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website. You can find a strength and speed class just for you this offseason so you can be even bigger, better, faster, stronger this upcoming season. Give them a call or text at 951-532-4904 to reserve your spot today. Strength and speed training at Boost Training System. And don't forget, enrollment is open right now for the Bass School. That's Boost Alternative School for student athletes. You can check out what they have to offer at boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website once again. And you can enroll for the 2021-2022 school year. Again, this is not an online school. This is a private school specifically for 7th and 8th grade boys. Check it out today because space is limited.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And going to the line here is Davis. Nope, actually not to the line. It was not a shooting foul. It's now beneath the basket. Bryant Iyer, alley-oop! Shatner Booker showing off his athleticism.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Wrapping things up here. And again, Johnny Nunez, our director, does a great job each and every week. But the problem is everybody wants him because he's the best. He is actually in charge of several high school graduations, the broadcast, the live streams for these graduations. So for tonight, this week, and also next week, we will be doing it live from my living room as Johnny is focusing on those high school graduations. But after that, we'll be back in the Teen Vision TV16 studio, which we are definitely excited about because it's not quite as fun doing it here from my living room. All right, before we wrap things up, a big shout out. Our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week was Murrieta Mesa softball taking on Valley View in Division I in the playoffs. And Murrieta Mesa won 8-0. Big game again by the Rams as they are seeking a Division I CIF Southern Section title. Now, our big boost plays of the week. Yes, if it's okay with you guys, let's do 2 big boost plays of the week. Here is number 1. Inland Sports. Big boost play of the week number 1. It's the pizza man, John Stark, and he always delivers. Here is Stark with the base hit. It's a walk-off knock for the King Wolves as King wins the outright Big 8 League Championship. Stark knocks home the winning run, and that's it, with Corona not being able to get past Centennial and King beating Santiago in that one. Stark with the game-winning hit. Yes, King is your Big 8 League champion outright. Congrats to John Stark, the pizza man, and the Wolves getting it done. That is one of our big boost of the week. Now, the other big boost, let's take a look at it. It happened on the old basketball court at Cajon High School. Inland Sports. It was Murrieta Valley on the road at Cajon. This is the second round of Division 2A playoffs. Nighthawks inbounding. Here comes Shatner Booker. Look out below. Booker finishes the alley-oop, throws it down as Murrieta Valley would go on to defeat Cajon 62-55 as the Nighthawks advance to the quarterfinals. As we tape this show, they are about set to play their quarterfinal game. Look at Booker getting up, throwing down the alley-oop. How about 2 big boosts of the week? That certainly deserved a shout out here on the Inland Sports Show. And we had that game live over on our friends at IEMG TV3. We had that game live stream. So big thanks to them, and great job, Murrieta Valley and Booker, on that big boost of the week. That's going to do it for this show, the Inland Sports Show. Again, live from my living room. We'll be back in the Teen Vision TV16 studio, not next week, but the week after. We're doing it from the living room for a couple more weeks as our director, Johnny Nunez, who's the best in the business, doing those high school graduations right now. Big thanks to our guests in this show, Matt Dale, Paloma Valley Girls Basketball, Mike Magpayo, UC Riverside Men's Basketball, and the top of the show, the brand new head coach for the Notre Dame football team, Carnell Hunt. We do appreciate it. God bless you. Stay safe out there. Here we go through the playoffs for the CIF Southern Section. We're fired up about it. We'll talk more about it next week on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. We'll see you next time.